everyone and welcome back to Animaechan. Today I'm going to be watching Dr. Stone episode 4. On Discord, one of my patrons did say that they think this episode is going to make me very mad. So I don't want to feel mad. I don't want to. Because of the last episode, I did react quite strongly. I have, how do I put this? I have a strong sense of justice. I don't know. I have people like to say black and white, like I'm very black and white about right and wrong, but it's really not that. It's just that, like, I understand that there's backstories and stuff to take into consideration, but still I think that there has to be a line between what's right and what's wrong. You have to be able to talk about that line, and there has to be a place where a thing that someone does that's just up to here and no further. You know what I'm saying? Because otherwise, I don't know, laws, they keep us safe, you know? But before I ramble on too much, I'm just going to take one very deep breath, because 3 deep breaths might be awkward for you to just, okay, when is this bitch going to start the reaction? Just one deep breath. I'm ready. I'm going to be calm. Weirdo. Don't confess now. Okay, she wants you to.
だが今この逃げ場もない極限のストーンワールドでそれを伝えるのは男として卑怯な気がしてならん。俺たちは文明を取り戻す。俺の話の続きを聞いてくれないか。譲りは
Priorities. I get it.
わかった。火薬の素材の3つは揃った。
おお、もう揃ったのか。
あとは混ぜるだけ。火薬の素材1、この温泉で取れ放題の硫黄。くくく、今日は私のここにその硝酸カリが用意してあんぞ。
おお、奇跡の水、例のホラー穴から取ったのか。
雑頭が珍しく正解じゃねえか。100億万点やるよ。硝酸カリ。仕上げにぶったたいて固める。
ぶったたくんだな。体力作業は俺に任せろ。
いやまあ、石同士ぶつけても火花は出ねえがな。
そうなの？
鉄が混じってなきゃ。
The music is kind of cool. Dun 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 dun.
おてっこ。
問題ねえ。火薬クッキング大成功じゃねえか。
こんなにすごいんだ火薬って。
ああ。
攻撃するの？
いや、取引する。
It's just
話の通じねえさ。
It's just because what Tsukasa is doing is he has his beliefs and he's forcing it onto them. Like he's saying, leave me to kill all these people. I won't hurt you if you just leave me be. So all Senku wants to do is have leverage and say, like Tsukasa said, if you try and get in my way, I'll kill her, because he's strong enough to do that. So they have nothing to bargain with him. They can't say like, don't kill them, because what? They have nothing over him. They have no power over him. They have nothing he wants that they can bargain him. Like, no bargaining. You understand what I'm saying? So if they have gunpowder, they'll be like, stop killing people or we shoot. It's not necessarily that they want to shoot him. It's mostly just so they can bargain, in my opinion. But obviously, if they get in his way and they don't want him to kill people, and he then tries to kill them so that he can keep killing people, then the gunpowder will end up being self-defense, because they don't want him to kill people and he wants to kill people. So how do you make a deal? How do you come to a compromise in that situation, because you have two different belief systems? And that's why it's so difficult to live with people from a different culture with you, a different religion than you, because fundamentally you believe different things. Your ideas about right and wrong is different. So how do you get along with someone? How do you live with someone in an environment where what they think is wrong and what you think is wrong is two different things? Like, how do you compromise on right and wrong? Because if it's wrong for you, it's wrong. Like, you don't do that. But in their world, it's totally normal. So how do you live with someone like that? How do you come to a compromise? That's why I guess it's so difficult to govern a fucking country where people have different beliefs, different cultures, different religions.
殺人鬼じゃねえ。大樹、てめえとバトった時言ってたじゃねえか。何の取引にもなってない。
Negotiation. That's the word I was looking for. Leverage. Thank you.
その時は先空を殺すしかない。
But let's just talk about who started this. Why is gunpowder necessary at all? Why did Senku need to bring guns into this world? Because Tsukasa was killing people. So before we jump on Senku and say, oh, he's bad and evil for bringing guns into this new world, let's look at the guy that was busting happy families apart, that could have been revived. Now those children will be brought into a world where their parents could have been there to help them, to ease their minds, to, I don't know, you need parents to take care of you. Don't you think that those children would have been happier in a world where if their parents could be revived, they were, but now they can't because their parents are dead because of Tsukasa. And more parents will be killed because of Tsukasa. So that's why they need gunpowder. In the last episode, wait, let me talk about this at the end of the episode, because if I get into this right now, I'm gonna... No.
Timing が偶然すぎる。明らかに俺らの噴煙に反応して上がった。じゃあ。ああ。
More people.
俺らの他に誰かいる。
人類が他に。
ひとまず完全に火を消さなきゃ。
立ち去られる前にさらに燃やして合図しねえと。
そういうことか。
でも、もし司くんが追ってきてたら。
勘とかいう非合理的なもんがつけて
Oh,
やる。
your guts.
ここでつけたら俺はきっと。どっちを取る？安全か。つけるぞ。のろしを上げろ。モロハののろしだ。周り中に居場所を知らせることになる。もし火薬作る計画が司にバレてたら。
そうだ。千空はあの時から火薬で俺と戦う未来を見据えていた。
This is their plan.
科学の武器が登場したら最強の僕が最強じゃなくなっちゃう。
そう捉えてもらって構わないよ。旧世代を蘇らせれば既得権益を求めて争い出し、たちまち汚れた逆戻りだ。
Interest. Established interests. So you mean two different sides with different ideals fighting both for what they think is right? So it's fine as long as there's just one side that's powerful enough to dominate and force its beliefs over the other side. It's fine if there's one side that uses its force and power to, you know, create a world where everything is right in their eyes, but it's not okay when two sides have power and can fight it out. Because in this case, he's the one with the power. He's the one that chooses who gets to live and who gets to die. That's fine. But no, there's not allowed to be anyone to oppose him. It's fine. They're the problem, not you. That's what they all say, Tsukasa.
でもその前に石化復活液のレシピを教えてくれないか。
その女一人どうしようが1ミリも興味ねえや。メスなら他にいくらでも。
君は自分を合理的と言うが、大切な友人がいる。俺には取り巻きは山ほどいるが、大切な人間などいない。俺の勝ちだ。
助かっちゃったかも。この世界だと髪洗うのも大変だし、言っちゃダメだよ。千空くん。復活液のレシピ聞き出さないうちは、司くんは千空くんのこと、千空くんだけはみんなの未来のために絶対死んじゃダメだから。
復活液は硝酸とアルコールの混合液だ。奇跡の水30対アルコール70。数%ずれただけで反応しねえから。
ありがとう。これで君を生かしておく理由がなくなってしまった。
おお、のろしが3本。さっきの火薬3連発に返答してきたんだ。センキュー譲りは
3。
君を生かしておけば必ず文明を発展させてしまう。それをしないと約束してくれないか。
Follow me or die.
そうすれば俺はセンク、君を殺さなくて済むんだ。
宇宙に行く。
宇宙飛行士。おお、いい夢ですね。
今すぐ速攻で行く。試しまくる。
父さんは手伝えねえ。だがセンク、お前さえ本気なら地道な科学で何だって成し遂げられるさ。道具だけはきっとサンタが用意してくれる。
かわいい実験だの。
砂鉄にアルミホイルやべえ。冷えすぎりゃこれ。まあ当分はエタノールで試してからのケロシンだ。なんだそれは。
Oh fuck.
センキュー。
自分の編みぐるみとか超周知プレイなんですけど。てか何に使うのこれ。
超上空で吹っ飛んだ。
またダメか。
宇宙に行く。
なんだって成し遂げられるさ。
できれば殺したくない。
I don't give a fuck about this is fake. I'd rather not kill you if I can help it. You can help it. You cannot kill him. Imagine, like, this is how it was back in fucking when the church was in charge, like the church was the state. People weren't allowed to read and shit because they weren't allowed to be too smart, because people are too smart. They figure shit out and they figure out that they're being fucked over half of the time. This is this is masked. This is a masked dictatorship. Like, he is masking his fucking evil with, I'd rather not kill you if I can help it. You don't have to kill anyone. Those children's parents whose heads you smashed in didn't do anything wrong. The children who you're going to let live in your world, they're going to grow up and become adults too. They're going to have ambition. They're going to want to improve themselves. That means society will develop. We're not meant to not grow. And growing means... Society is going to develop whether you want it to or not. Those children whose parents you killed, they will rebel. Now, out of the goodness of my heart, I must kill you for the sake of the world. Yup. Yup. Oh, how kind. You can kill people, but as long as you don't make them suffer, then you're not evil. You're just a good guy forcing your clearly superior beliefs onto others, and anyone who opposes you, dead. But it's okay, because they're not gonna suffer. I thought this was all part of their plan, by the way. I thought they had a plan, but... A otaku boo. Nah, well, it's been a good 4 episodes. See ya, LMAO. What does that mean? Derdas. If he really is killed, I will stop watching the show. That's just so fucked up. Really, guys? Have you never watched a shonen? Have you not watched Attack on Titan? Bleach? I don't know, probably Naruto. The same, like... The MCs don't die. Fairy Tail. Like, there would be no story without the MCs. No. Seriously? That fooled you? Seriously? Nah. This has to be a record for reaching an early conclusion, right? Really? Really? No, people come now. Good show, very quick. Just sitting at 4 episodes. What a way to end the show. 10 out of 10. Hey, it's Mecha Senku. That's one character from the manga I didn't expect to see. The antagonist is way too smart. Apparently he's just as smart and educated as the main guy, but also he one-shots lions with his fist. Lazy writing. No, he's smart, but he's definitely not as nearly as smart as Senku. Otherwise, yeah, he wouldn't have needed to keep Senku alive. I think he's got... You know, everyone, not everyone, but people have different degrees of general knowledge. And I think he's got really good general knowledge and he can put 2 and 2 together. But Senku is smart in that he doesn't just have general knowledge about what things are and how they work. He can actually do it himself. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like anyone can learn... What example can I use? Anyone can learn... Okay, anyone can read instructions on how to make a chocolate cake. Anyone can, identify what goes into a chocolate cake, whatever. But Senku is the person that, like, but he doesn't buy the pre-made box and knows what to mix where, whatever. He makes he makes it from scratch. Like, he knows how to make the flour and everything, you know what I'm trying to say, and sterilize the water and everything. So there's people with like general knowledge that know what things are and how they work, but they can't make it themselves. Senku is the kind of smart that he can figure it out, make it himself, So being smart doesn't mean he's as smart. Wow, okay, they really did that, didn't they? No, they didn't. They want you to think they did, but I don't know. Maybe let people wonder for a moment, Oh, did he die? Did he not die? No, he didn't. I have to admit though, Attack on Titan spoiler if you haven't watched it. I watched Attack on Titan 2 years ago. It was one of the first shonen anime that I actually watched. Even though I think it should be a seinen type anime, but it verges on in both, I guess. And I really thought that in that one episode that one of the MCs died. Really, I thought I was making it mysterious, trying to not to be too spoilerish, but I guess it's spoiler anyway. But yeah, I really thought he died. But now I realize like that's not how shonen works. Unless an anime is clearly marked as a tragedy, no one dies. Not really. Rarely. Have I ever seen an anime character die? Yes. Have I? Yes, I must have. I'm sure I have, but then it was a very different type of anime. Yes. Okay, side characters die all the time. All the time. Side characters. You don't get attached to them. It's fine. It won't traumatize any kids that watches this. Characters that you know, that you've come to know for a while, they die. I mean, they don't die. No. Because it would traumatize the kids. Because even though anime isn't for kids, like, the story goes much deeper than that, more often than not. They are aware that, especially with shonen anime, kids still watch this. They can't traumatize them. There's lines. There's stuff. Okay, so let's talk about first the thing that I wanted to bring up from the last episode in the comment section, which got me really worked up. In the last episode discussion, episode 3, I talked about, because the anime brought up the fact that, you know, Senku said they were going to make gunpowder. It was in the anime. And then I linked it to another anime that I was watching where they were also making gunpowder in that anime. It is Drifters. I'm on episode 9, but around episode 7, 8-ish, they start needing to make gunpowder because there's a war and the other side is stronger because of the amount of people they have, and they have armor and stuff, and it's basically the demi-humans who were oppressed are rising up now, and the people helping them to, you know, overthrow the current government wants to make gunpowder, black powder, as he calls it, and because that will give them the advantage. And so I took what was happening in this anime, I took what was happening in that anime, and I discussed, you know, in the real world, that is, in a similar way, that's how gunpowder was invented. Like that is where the necessity came from, because things are invented through what we need, you know. A need arises and someone smart invents something that could fill that need within our lives. And within war, power is a necessity. If you're fighting with someone, you need leverage, whether it's an argument with someone or a physical fight, a war. That is how that is where the necessity for gunpowder came from, and that's, and the need for guns and stuff is you want power, more power than the other side, and that's why it was invented and stuff. And I was discussing this because that's why Senku needed to make it, like he explained, leverage, power. Otherwise they would get killed if they didn't have, you know, a way to defend themselves, and that's whatever. And then someone wrote this long ass fucking comment about how they're not going to listen to my 20-minute speech about being pro-gun. Like, I not once mentioned my personal beliefs on whether or not people should be able or be allowed to own guns, or whether I believe that guns are a good thing or a bad, whatever. I didn't once mention my personal belief on the matter. I just spoke about, you know, what is happening in this anime, that anime, why they're needing gunpowder, what it's used for or whatever. And this person I didn't even read the rest of their comment because they were accusing me of being pro-gun, which is such a terrible thing to be. Like, how dare you believe people should own guns, and how dare you believe that guns are a good thing, and even though I didn't mention that at all. I was just talking about, you know, why they're inventing guns and why, and like, about war in general and power and the kind of power that having black powder gives you over others, or does it make this side so powerful, and why is it so desirable to have that power? Obviously, because then you have a better chance of winning, which is the point of war. You want to win. You want to be right. You want to... Although, obviously, that's not... Like that. You shouldn't be right by winning a fight. Like, you are right by, like... It's not even, I don't even know if there is, like, what's right for me isn't right for everyone. Like, let's say I talked about physical punishment, for example. Like, some cultures believe in that, others don't. So is there a intrinsic right and wrong in the world? I don't know, because a lot of kids are okay with being like, or grown-ups, they're like, they look back on their childhood lives and they were like, yeah, I was physically punished and it made me a better person today. Like, each person's beliefs at the end of the day are different. So is there an intrinsic law, like some kind of God law that says, oh, you can't physically punish people? Like, no. I don't know. I can't say that. I can just say what I believe. Let me just move over to this side. And yeah, I was just discussing all of the stuff and the implications thereof, and all from, you know, what happened in the anime. And then this person ranted, like, but I didn't read the rest of their comment because their premise was, like, it was pointless. It was saying that I said things I didn't say. Oh, you're pro-gun. I don't know maybe it was an American person, because I know that over there, it's like you're either pro-life or anti-life, pro-gun or anti-gun, pro-Trump or anti-Trump. I don't know. I'm not fucking from America. I don't know even what the laws in South Africa are about guns. So that was never my whole point. So that's why I didn't read the rest of their argument towards me, because they were arguing as if I said something that I never said. I was just talking about the anime and why he needed to he felt like, oh, I need to make gunpowder because how else is he gonna fight Tsukasa? And it was ironic that another anime that I was watching, they were also making black powder, gunpowder. And it's just interesting because it kind of reflects our world's history, because black powder was invented in our history because people can't talk things out. They can't make compromises. So they need to force others to believe what they believe. They need to force others to follow their laws. Like Tsukasa. His belief is that grown-ups bad. Grown-ups make the world a bad place. Society owning land makes you evil. Okay, dude. So that's his beliefs. And now he can't sit and have a discussion and talk to others about, like, what's the right thing to do here? How are we gonna, he just forces his beliefs onto the world. Not just onto those two people, onto the world, because he's taking people's choices away. Like, someone said, someone in the comment section is like, oh, he's just breaking statues, he's not killing anyone. Are you fucking kidding me? That's like saying, I don't even know, I can't even argue with someone like that. Okay, if you see it that way, fine. Then you see it that way. I can't argue with people like that. Cause to me that's like saying how you're dehumanizing. You're just dehumanizing people because you don't want to think about the implications of That's a person's life that was just taken away. A little bit of miracle water thrown on their heads, boom, their shell cracks off, and they have a life. They had a life before, and they would have a life if you just boop, water, like, you're taking away, you're going to revive the children, you just kill their parents. Oh, but it's fine because they're stones. Like, he's not killing anyone. Like, okay, if that's your argument, that's fine. To me, that sounds like in Attack on Titan, where the people from, just don't listen to me if you haven't watched Attack on Titan, because I will spoil it for you. Spoiler alert. The people from Marley see all of the Eldians. They don't, like, not all people from Marley, but, you know, the Marley, the soldiers, whatever, the ones that push them off the walls. They see them, they don't see them as humans, they see them as monsters. You don't see those as people, you see them as stones. Tsukasa doesn't see them as humans, he sees them as that man who punched my face in when I was little. All adults are now bad because one guy punched my face in. You have become exactly what you hate, Tsukasa. But I'm not mad. I'm not as mad as I thought I was going to be, because someone said you were going to be mad, and then I was like, what happened? Now I don't feel like angry. Kinda. I don't know how to explain it. I'm just trying to understand, because, and I like talking about these kinds of things, because there's another person that commented that said, oh, I wish I could find it now. They basically were saying, like, why? I think they were saying, like, he's just an anime character. If he wasn't evil, then there would be no story, or something like that. And I said, yeah, but, like, obviously I don't want Tsukasa to be a good guy and all of them to be a good guys, because then there would be no story. Like, I talk about it because that's what stories do. Stories are meant to represent something out of, you know, like art imitates life. Like, we're supposed to talk about these things. Obviously, if you're just here for the reaction part, that's great. Just watch my reaction and go. Although, I get it. I pause in between the stories. So, I'm not the reactor that you watch if you just want to see someone enjoying a story and going, they just punched the guy. Woo, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm not that. I just wish I could. I should put a warning on my channel or something. I don't watch anime. I don't read stories. 90% of anime, at least. I don't watch just for the show. Like, I actually love the stories, and I wouldn't, like, how do I say this? I talk about it as if it were real, you know? Like, I talk about the themes as if, like, how would I have handled that? What do I believe? Like, do you understand what I'm saying? It's not, to me, the only story, one of the few anime that I watch just for the fun of it is My Hero Academia. I don't think about the implications of the characters and who they are and their actions. I just kind of watch it, like, for fun. Whereas with most anime, I actually think about the characters and their characterization, what makes them who they are, their beliefs, what do I think about their beliefs, right and wrong, and morality, all that kind of stuff. A lot of anime, and that's why I love anime, is it addresses philosophical issues, things that people have been talking about for years and years, about, you know, for example, morality. And that's how I watch anime, that's how I enjoy anime. So the person that commented and said, you know, why do you even think about that stuff, it's just a story, like, I just always want to say, like, I'm not the reactor for you, because I do talk about that stuff, like, and I like hearing other people's perspectives, it's very difficult. I have to admit, it's very difficult to have a discussion with people about certain things, like people that think Tsukasa is not a murderer. Like, okay, like you can't have. Here, this is a good example. You can't argue with, like, a Muslim and a Christian can't argue about God, because they have fundamental different beliefs. Like, you can't argue something like that. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because now they're going to use different, like, the Christian is going to use the Bible to prove his point, and the Muslim is going to use, I don't know, I'm not a Muslim, I'm also not a Christian, but I was raised as a Christian, so I know the Bible. I don't know what what Muslim people, if they have an equivalent, a Bible equivalent. So do you understand what I'm saying? The Christian uses his Christian beliefs to prove his Christian beliefs. The Muslim person uses the Muslim beliefs to prove his Muslim beliefs. Do you understand what I'm saying? And that's why you can't, some things you can't argue about, you can't discuss really. And that's why I don't remember who said this. It's a quote from a book, I think from Eat, Pray, Love, actually. The book is actually really good. The movie wasn't as great. The movie really made it light and airy fairy, and the book is too. It's not as deep as, but there are some really great concepts and things. And one of the things is the woman that is on the spiritual journey, she talked to this, I don't know, monk, and he was like, you know, when someone tells you about their beliefs, and he was talking like about him, he'll nod and say yes, he'll nod and say yes, he'll nod and say yes, and then he'll go home and he'll pray to his own God. Because there's no point in trying to tell someone your beliefs are wrong, because like it's just you can't. I don't think you can. I really don't. You can't argue with someone about that. The only way that you can convince someone of your beliefs is like you live your life. Like, let your actions be your example, so people will not, like, you're not telling them this is right, you're showing them. And if they don't find the kind of fulfillment that they do in their lives, or if they're like, if it doesn't make sense to them, if eventually their way of life doesn't make sense, they'll look towards the rest of the world, and they need to see someone that seems like they have it figured out. And that's the only way that you're gonna convince anyone of anything, is if you live your life in a way that inspires others to see, like, what's he doing right, something like that. So that's why with Tsukasa, like, I can't tell you, oh, what he's doing is wrong. Like, I can't convince you. If you don't think he's murdering anyone, then that's fine. Like, if you want to believe in a leader like him, I hope that let's just say that I'm glad that he's not real, and that you're not turned into stone, because 90% of us would have been killed. It's just that for me, yeah, people fuck up. Not because of society, not because of science. People have been fucking up and fucking each other over for forever. Jesus, if he existed, was a really cool guy. He did a lot of nice things, and yet he was crucified by the people, like by his own people. That was before civilization and big buildings and corporate people and corporations and shit. That was long before that, and people were doing that to each other. Children bully each other. You really think that by killing all the adults, all the stone adults, you really think you're gonna make the world a better place? Some people are just bad. And if you think, what's that quote? Killing a killer just doesn't mean there's any less killers in the world, because you think this person deserves to die, so you kill him. Oh, it has to be, to use the simile, this person has to be a killer. Okay, so let's say this is a murderer. Now you kill the murderer. There's still, you then murdered someone, so you're not really helping the situation at all. Like, I never said like, oh, they should kill Tsukasa. Senku never wanted to kill Tsukasa. They just wanted the gunpowder to have leverage, so that he doesn't have all the power over them and can just kill whoever he wants and do what he wants, because if he doesn't at least give them a chance to negotiate, but if you do agree with it, that's fine. But it is important for me that we should be able to talk about this kind of stuff, because there is a lot of shit going on in the world. People doing bad things and justifying what they're doing because they've been wronged at some point in their life, and the cycle just continues. I've been wronged, so I'm now going to hurt others. You know, I've been hurt, so I'm going to hurt others. Like Tsukasa, like he was hurt, now he wants to correct the world, but he's willing to get his hands dirty to do the right thing. No, you're doing exactly what you hate about the world. You have become what you hate about the world. His way of doing things is not gonna make the world a better place. No person will want to be governed in that way. The children that he's gonna revive, they'll rise up against him easily. Like, people have ambition, and if he wants everyone, like, he wants to live like, I don't know, hippies. Everyone just owns, you all just, this is your land, and no, it's no one's land, it's just the earth's land, and we all share the same toothbrush, and you all get just enough food every day to get by. And who's gonna make that food that they all get? Like, he's gonna have to assign, okay, you're foragers, you're this, you're that. So there's no freedom in that. People need to be free. And the world he wants to create is something. He would need to govern every single decision every single person makes every moment of every day. And they won't do the right thing because they want to. They'll do the right thing because they're scared. And people who live in fear like that, they'll definitely rise against him. They'll become exactly what... Oh, no. But anyway, that's my opinion on the whole story thus far. I don't think Senku is dead. Really excited to see that blonde-haired girl. I'm looking forward to how the story progresses, because I did the same thing with Dororo, the anime. I didn't agree with what Daigo did. I said I didn't agree with it. I said it was wrong. I said it was going to bite him in the ass. And there were really people that argued. There were people that said, no, Daigo did the right thing. Daigo's intentions were to do the right thing, even though it clearly wasn't. But they were like, no, he did it. And all I really needed to do was let the anime play out, because at the end, it did bite him in the ass. He did realize that what he did was wrong, and the way he went about it was wrong. And I'm pretty sure that the same thing will happen in this anime. So I really don't have to argue that what Tsukasa is doing is wrong, because he'll realize it eventually. The anime will show it eventually. Hopefully. I don't know. The thing is, the problem is, I don't see how... Eventually, he's going to realize he's doing the wrong thing, or it's going to be more apparent in the anime that that's not how you handle the situation. But how... You can't bring a character back from that. He can't ever be one of the crew, because he's murdered hundreds of people. You know, like, how? But maybe they bring him back from that kind of, that evilness. I don't know. People say, oh, he's not evil, he's just misguided. No, he's killed a lot of people. In my book, that's very close to... Like, evil is the wrong word. Evil. Like, what is he? Yzma from Emperor's New Groove? Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, what is evil even? To me, when I say evil, I mean like he's taking people's lives. No matter what he says, how he paints it, oh, I'm willing to get my hands dirty to create a new beautiful world. Yeah, Hitler thought that too. He wanted to create a new beautiful world with people with blonde hair and blue eyes. Everyone the same religion, everyone the same, in the same system, agreeing to the same principles and beliefs. You want to force that shit down people's throats? And if they don't agree, you kill them. To me, that's what I mean when I say evil. And you don't have to agree with me. I'm not saying he's heartless. I'm not saying he's soulless. I realize that he's misguided, but that doesn't make what he's doing any less bad. You know, what happened to him sucked. Yeah, but what he's doing now is kind of worse, a lot worse. And that doesn't mean he deserves to die. I'm not saying he deserves to be killed. I'm just saying that he can't be allowed to continue to do what he's doing without, you know, facing the consequences. Like, you killed people. You have to realize that. You have to make right for it somehow. How do you imagine killing a child's parents, and that child is sitting in front of you one day asking you, why did you kill my parents? They loved me. They only ever took care of me. Why did you take my mother away? Why did you take my father away? How do you tell that kid, sorry? How do you make it right for that child? You can't. You can't make it right. You can only hope to be forgiven and then not do it again. Because you can't make that right. When you take a life, it's gone. That person, what everything that could have been is gone. The child will have to grow up without a parent. Every child grows up to be an adult. Like, we all think we deserve that. We all think we deserve to grow older than 16. Not in Tsukasa's world. Yeah, I'm rambling again, aren't I? But this was a great episode. I can't believe this is episode 4 of this anime. It's progressing. The third episode, I feel like, progressed the fastest. And I know a lot of people complain about that because how did he figure it out so quickly? And I'm sure maybe it's a little bit, you know, plot convenience just to make the story progress a little faster, because it's fucking exciting. Like, it would have happened anyway, so they just kind of fast forwarded to this part, and it's episode 4 and so much has happened already, which I actually like. I feel like, yes, some things happened a bit fast, but it's nothing that wouldn't have happened anyway. So I get that they, you know, skipped the trivialities of how he exactly figured it out, how long it took him. Boop, there he did it. Like, he was gonna find them anyway. This was gonna happen anyway. So they just kind of, here it is. And I like that because the story isn't lacking in any way because of that. If that makes sense. Personal opinion, of course. I'd love to hear yours. Thank you for watching episode 4 with me. And I'll see you next week for episode 5. Bye.